Hello everyone, this is Enzo Eigen of the Alliance for Loki, and this is Season 17, War 10, and we're going against New Nation. So we are in a position now where we are 4th in Masters, and we are fighting to get into the top 3. So this is a very exciting war because New Nations is number 5, and it turns out 2 and 3 ASR and NY718 are playing too. So basically 2 through 5 are all fighting this war, and of course the 2 who win will end up in the top 3, so a lot of pressure on. So I'm going to be running Path 7 this war, which is a pretty typical path for me. I'm taking in a very interesting team, so this is the first time I've ever taken She-Hulk into war, and the whole reason why is because of Weapon X. So She-Hulk is a great counter for him, and so we're worried, since we don't see him on the map, that it might be in one of the hidden modes. And so I have the team of Gully, Omega, and She-Hulk. Of course, Guillotine 2099 is because of the Flow defensive global node. She's really good. She doesn't crit, and so she's almost perfect for this. And you can see today my fights will all be about her. So as usual, we all join war and we slowly move over. You don't have enough energy to do all your fights, but basically the first part of the war is just going to your section and waiting for your alliance mates. So feeling a lot of pressure this war. We know New Nation is good. They've beaten some really good opponents. They're a quality team. They deserve to be top 3. There's probably about 6 or 7 teams that are top 3 eligible, I'd say. And so I've scouted this first fight. It's going to be Dr. Voodoo. He is control. So I'm going in with Guillotine, and of course I put all my boosts. The big thing is that I want to end on a special 3, because if I can kill him with a special 3, then I gain 100 combos for the next fight, which means her pre-fight abilities are that much stronger. So all these fights are you just sort of try to slow play him, because I don't want him to get a lot of power. I'd much rather deal with his SP1 than his SP2. I do take the fight length, which means I have Bane. You can see it ticking down there. So Bane's always a little bit scary, just because of course you can get a lot of degen damage if you're not careful. And so you're trying to watch several things. Finally throws an SP1, and I try to time it so his Bane will be on me, but will be on him when it expires, but I don't quite time it well, and so I take a little bit of the degen damage. And then he again throws his SP1, and this time the timing's almost perfect. So right as the Bane is on me, I transfer it over him. And again, we're doing the same dance again now. So he has his SP1, and he throws it, and there it goes. Usually I wouldn't mind dodging the SP2. I don't really fear it too much, but every now and then I get hit by it, and more, I always try to be as careful as I can. So, once again, managed to get the Bane almost perfectly. So now everything's all set up. I have my SP3 ready. He's getting down pretty low in health. I figured 10% is enough, and I go ahead and pop my SP3, figuring this will kill him. And so I actually probably need to spend a little more time figuring exactly how much damage the SP3 does, just so I know when's a good time to kill him. So this person I'm playing, Benoptic, I believe he's a French MCOC player. I've encountered him through my years of MCOC. I think he's a really cool guy. I once was about to join the alliance he was in, but then joined J11 instead. So, just starting to know all these players on the high end, just because you see them and have run across them in chats or in alliances or in other places. So now my next fight, I'm going to scout it again. Luckily I don't have to take this one linked, and so you can see my alliance mate below me is that's Wally, and he's fighting, and then I believe that's Pete over on the right side. So again, we're always trying to coordinate our movements, just because we have fights linked, and then we have to uncover who the little champion is where the paths join and figure out who's going to fight him. There's definitely this coordination aspect. So yes, again, one of the great things about 4 Loki is we're good about just being together and playing together. So of course I put a 1 heal potion into Guillotine just to take care of the damage that was done. I'm going to activate the pre-fight, just since I have the 100 combos and I might as well use it. I'm going to put on the lifesteal. I figure it would just give me some life back. Usually I would fight Elsa. We've figured out this is Elsa with Omega Red. We've also figured out that it does not have suicides on. So if she did have suicides on, you'd want to use Omega Red, because against mutant champions she does a lot of degen right at the beginning of the fight. But since there's no suicides, it's okay. I can use Guillotine. Guillotine is a little bit the safer option, just in case. So when we do the scouting lens, we get a whole list of champions it could be. We're pretty sure it's Elsa, but it could be another one. And if they'd snuck a control character on this, then Guillotine would be much safer for that. So Guillotine is the safest play. Again, I think about the pre-fight I want. Maybe I should have gone with a combo. Again, I'd like to finish with an SP3, just because I will get my 100 combo back if I do. But you'll see what happens with this fight. So this fight is actually really, really straightforward. In her case, I like getting her to the SP2. I don't really try to dodge the gun blast, but you can dodge the first and last pieces of it, which are two swings. And there she goes right there, and so I retaliate against that. It's fine. And again, just trying to play safe. Actually, sorry, I got my specials mixed up. This is SP1 I'd rather deal with, because I can sort of punish it at the end, and I think the SP2 is just a lot of gun blasts. So the fight's going super, super quick. I can't even get to my SP3, which is sort of a shame, but I finish it pretty easily, hardly taking any damage. Do get a little bit of lifesteal, so it works out well this fight. So now I move over to the joint champion, and we scout this. We're almost certain it's Warlock. And it turns out I have the best option against Warlock, so I'm going in once again with Guillotine. It's a very Guillotine heavy video. She's just so great against this global flow node, because again, she just doesn't crit, and that's huge. This fight's a little bit annoying because it's the Aegis heavy, and that means I have to hit him 6 times with my heavy. So some characters have like a 2 or 3 hit heavy, which makes them very effective. Guillotine just has a 1 hit heavy, so it's going to take a fair bit of time just to get the charges off. It's already at SP1, and he fires it, and there's literally nothing I can do. And so I just have to wait and keep on parrying it. And I'm always worried about parrying, because if you're too slow, like I almost missed that parry there, but managed to get it. And then I missed the parry, now he's pushing me back, so a little worried, and then I couldn't remember. He actually hits me, but I go invisible. It's really underrated, her Digicloak. It's a really cool defensive mechanism that helps a lot. So now I can do damage, and I want to push him to an SP2. Getting a little worried because he is backing me up against my wall, trying to back him up. It's just things aren't going good, and I decided to throw the SP3. Just was running out of space, and I haven't really dodged his SP2 except to move back away from it, and since I'd run out of space, I was really worried that even if I blocked the whole thing, it was just going to do a lot of damage, or I couldn't bait it out to an SP3, so I push him back. Now I really need to get this SP2 out, and it comes, and so I'm able to counterattack now. And now, of course, he has no more of the heavy charges, so it's one of these fights where it's pretty nerve-wracking, and again, he gets an SP2. Luckily, he throws it, and things are going okay. But, at a minute 30, he's only down to like 66%. So it's a slow fight. It's taken me a long time to start getting to this position where I can now just start doing damage to him. Now, once he gets pushed to the wall, it seems like he's much more willing to throw his special 2s, so we keep on going. And finally now I feel a little bit comfortable after being nervous, but the only problem with Guillotine is she's sort of a slow champion to fight. You can see, already a minute into this fight, I still need to bait out a special, and I'm just worried about that. So I've used Guillotine before and timed out with her in these fights, just because, again, especially when you have to do something that's slow, it just takes a while. I don't feel like she does a whole lot of damage. I mean, she sort of relies on the degen, doesn't really have the crits, of course, to make the big damage, so it's a little underwhelming sometimes for damage. So now I'm sure 7% I can throw my SP3, she's all built up and ready to go, and I should be able to kill him, and then that'll give me my 100 combos for the next fight. So again, it's always a big advantage. I mean, she's a ramp-up champion, she'll do more and more damage when she has the higher combos. So it was an interesting fight, I actually really enjoyed it. Had a few little scary moments, but managed to succeed. So interesting enough, this is actually my last fight. So I go to do section 7. I actually only have one fight, only one that noses up. It turns out it's a Heimdall, and we decided it's much better for our backup to take it. I have timed out with Guillotine on that node before, just because he starts with the SP1, and you have to bait that, and then he gets like 5% extra power. So it ends up being a lot of baiting SP1s in a very slow fight. And so someone with Archangel, actually Wally with Archangel, comes in. But let me just talk about the rest of the war, because it's a really interesting war. So we we were behind by about 2 or 3 deaths, but had a lot more kills on attacks, and so it was really close. And then right at the very end, they were, I believe, behind by 1, but it turns out one of the boss solos, or one of the boss kills they had, it took 4 deaths on it, and so one of them didn't count. So right at the very end, we ended up tied, and we had, I think, 2 fights left. We had a mini boss and a boss, and so we needed this to get the tie. We were a little unhappy because a tie would have meant that we both get a loss basically, and so that means whoever won in the battle between 2 and 3 would almost certainly clinch top 3, and then there'd be a big fight for the last place between the 3 losers essentially. And so we're sort of scoreboard watching our own battles as well. So we go ahead and manage to clear the boss without any deaths, and so we and New Nation tie, which is a pretty incredible outcome considering, again, just so much pressure. One little mistake either team had made, or one little extra death, would have cost them the war. So we're okay with that. I mean, at least they didn't gain ground on us, we didn't gain ground on them. And so now we're watching about NY718 and ASR, and what do you know? They tie as well. So incredible. I mean, this is like incredible drama. It's better than any sporting event I've seen in probably the last 5 years. So they tied, and so now what's happened is the top 2, 3, 4, 5 teams have tied, which means they all suffer loss. So Kenobi, which is the number 1 team, I mean, they're in no jeopardy of not being number 1. They've been number 1 for maybe the last I can't recall, like 5 seasons, 7 seasons, 10 seasons. And so now we're really battling for the top 3 between 2, 3, 4, 5. So basically everything is just as it is. So all of us suffered a loss because that's what a tie counts as. And now we have 2 more wars to see what happens. And the next war is looking really exciting because we are playing NY718. So again, a huge opportunity for us to stake a claim in the top 3. New Nation, I can't remember, I think they're playing SAS, who's a pretty good alliance too, and so yeah, it's going to be very good. And I think is ASR playing Kenobi, I'm not sure, but all the top teams are playing, so it really is the way wars should be. The end of the season, the best teams fight each other to see who will become the legitimate best alliances in war. And so no, it's been an incredible season and really a lot of fun, and now it really comes down to the final two wars, and the pressure is on. So we'll see. It's really intense, really fun, and just really enjoying war, and I hope I do well. So I'll let you know what happens next video. War it's now starting today because I'm making this video day after, and yeah, hopefully we can pull out the victory and for the second time in the 4Loki career have a top 3 finish. So I hope you enjoyed this war video. As I said, it's been an exciting season, and I'm looking forward to the next one, and I'll see you in that video. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.